Hello again and welcome to another episode. I think it's episode 4 of Your Raw. And today I've got an image from a good friend of mine, Martin from MH Landscape Photography, otherwise known as Smithy. The reason why he's known as Smithy is because no one can actually pronounce his last name. So Smith is the name. So yeah, he sent me this image, so we'll get straight into it and see what we think and see how we can edit it and what have you. Okay, so the image is, he didn't actually tell me where it is, or I don't think he did. Love the layers in the image. I think it's a very, very nice image, and I think it's going to be quite tricky to actually edit, which is nice because it's a challenge. So, first thing is, I know for a fact is a Sony shooter. Now, Sony shooters have a problem with dust spots. So if I do the DAs, oh, look at all them dust spots. So let's just reset the DAs. I think what I'm going to do is, I'm going to maybe try and edit it in Lumina. Simply because Lumina has sent me their program to have a look at and try. Now I've had little tweaks here and there with it, but I'm still learning in the process. But it's a very similar sort of process to Photoshop, just set out a little bit different to Lightroom, sorry. It's almost like a Lightroom with a little bit of extra to it. So we'll have a go at editing in Lumina Neo. And the other reason for that is, if I just open that up in Lumina, it has a remove dust option. So let's try it, see how good it is. And that's the first thing. What I might do is probably work it with Lumina. All the processes are going to be the same, but I might work it with Lumina and then maybe just finish it off in Lightroom. We'll just see, just because I'm not 100% confident on using Lumina at the moment because I haven't used it enough. So first of all, here's the image in Lumina, and we're going to forget all the presets, all this stuff. Not really my cup of tea, to be honest. So we'll go straight into edit. Now on the right hand side we've got these list of things that we can do. Like I say, the first thing I am going to do is actually remove the dust spots, which is in erase. So I do like the idea of it. It's got remove power lines and remove dust spots. Now, just removing dust spots alone can be an absolute game changer because they are a pain in the Sony's bum. So let's have a go. Now, if you want your image, your raw image, processed by myself and a little critique on it, then please message me on YouTube or join the Facebook group, Thumbs Up Photography, and then message me through there. It's a great group full of just positive interaction. Hence the reason Thumbs Up Photography. Okay, let's get stuck into this and see what this is done. It does it quite quick actually, but let's see exactly what it's achieved. So if we go into landscape now, it's got the DAs. So if we lift the DAs up, and that is a miracle because I can't actually see one dust spot. That is pretty. I would use Lumina just to remove dust spots. That's pretty good, to be honest. That's pretty good. Okay, right, so reset. So the image itself, again, I'm going to work from top to bottom, pretty much, more in the essentials, these blue editing tools, because it's very similar to our Lightroom works. So we'll pretty much stick to them. There's just one or two things I may do. So develop, that's pretty much most of Lightroom's adjustments, exposure, etc. I'm going to leave the exposure looks pretty good. Highlights, we can bring them up, drop them down. I think I'm actually going to drop them down a little bit, the highlights, but I'm also maybe just going to drop down the shadows a little bit. I'm going to let's have a look. Maybe I'm going to up the shadow. No, I like that. I like that. That's like that. So the whites, we've adjusted them slightly. We might go back to that. We'll see with other adjustments. Curves, I'm not gonna worry about that. Colours, again, I don't think I need to drop the temperature or the. I might just drop the saturation just slightly. Sharpness, funny one, sharpness, because I don't actually want it sharp. I want that nice, soft, atmospheric feel to it. So I'm going to leave the sharpness. What I am going to do, I'm just going to put a little bit of reduced noise in, a bit of luminosity and colour, and I'm just going to lift it pretty much how I do in Lightroom, see what that does. So I'm happy with that. Erase, we've done all the erasing. I can't see anything else that I want to actually remove from this image. I love this tree line across the top here. I love this single, well, there's a tree, then there's another bigger tree behind by the look of it. Yeah, it's a couple of trees behind it. I love that little bit there. I love the light coming over this hill and then down these little channels here. So it's really nice. So erase, yeah, I'm not going to erase anymore. Structure, I think it's more like, this is more like a texture type thing, I think, in Lightroom. So if we up it, it'll go crazy, like so. But I'm just going to up it just very, very slightly. Again, colour, don't need to go colour. Detail, again, detail, I'm not going to adjust any detail. I think that's like a little bit like sharpening, yeah, sharpening things like that, so no need to do that. Denoise, again, that's luminosity. So within that first one, there's these other bits that come up. In landscape, we've got golden hour, so we can enhance that golden hour. We don't particularly want to do that, even though I like that little bit of gold coming through, and I don't want to, we'll lift the foliage right up, don't want to do that, but it's there if we can do it. Vignette, I'm not going to add a vignette. Sun rays, we could potentially add a sun ray. How I would do it in Lightroom is I would probably choose a radial filter, put, if you like, that bit of a ray in, and then just slightly drop the DAs. It works quite well. But the sun rays, it's we can place the sun, let's say, so we'll place it out of picture, so we'll place it over here, and then we can just up the amount, and as it comes we start to get the sun rays. So we can literally just put the lightest sun ray, and then we've got all these adjustments to adjust it, warmth, etc, etc, etc. So I'm actually going to leave that. It's hardly done anything, but I'm going to leave that in. Okay, the rest I'm probably going to leave. We've got some dodge and burn we can do here. The other thing I do like, where is it? Atmosphere is a good one. Atmosphere, we can add a bit of fog. We can have fog, layered fog, mist, haze. Let's try haze actually, because it's quite an hazy day, but it's nice if we bring that haze out a little bit more actually. I'll tell you what, I'm going to do that. So that's that. Yeah, I'm going to leave the rest of that. The other good thing, which is quite good, is the dodge and burn type tool. Now in Lightroom, the dodge and burn, how I do it is I just pick a brush, and then I'll just up or down the exposure and up or drop the white or black or whatever and do it that way. But this has obviously got its own little section here that we can do a bit of dodge and burn. So I might just do a bit of lightening up of this area here. I just wish the size would work on the, I know it zooms in, which is good, but I have to adjust the size. I either have to go over or do it on the keys, but that's okay. So I'm just gonna highlight these little areas here, and I just want to highlight down here as well. There we go. I think that is going to do, to be honest. Now the other thing I think I'm going to do is, got a couple of things up the top here. One is a crop, and I'm going to crop it. And I'm going to crop it to a, I think I'm going to crop it to a 1:1. Now I like that because if you can see that, we've got this interesting tree on the bottom, a right hand third, and then the far tree on the top left hand third. So I think that should actually work quite nice with the eyes. So let's apply that crop, and I quite like that. I quite like that as a crop, and I think that may be it. I might just give it a little tweak in Lightroom. So let's send it back into Lightroom. So if now we've done our editing now, and this is it's quite a powerful bit of kit, this is, and I'm only just touching the surface, I must admit, but I am using it more like a Lightroom type program. So we'll do that. Well, I'm going to replace. You can keep both, so it'll add another image, or you can replace. So that'll replace that now and put it back into Lightroom, which is done. So that's quite quick. Two I need. I might just, and like I say, I could. The only thing that I can't do, or can't seem to find how to do in Lumina, is to actually drop the DAs down. I'm sure you would be able to, but I'll be buggered if I can find it. Maybe that fog type thing does the same sort of thing, but I'm just actually thinking of bringing the DAs up just a little bit, and then dropping that saturation down a little bit as well, because we've got sort of a bit of a band of light there that's going on, which looks a little bit, if we up it right up, it's going a bit strange. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll leave the top, but we'll de-haze the bottom. So we'll select a linear filter, I think, and then if we bring it up from the bottom, and then just de-haze the bottom. When are we there? Now I'm liking that better because it gives more of a punch to them layers. I like that. I think the only other thing I'm going to do is try and just sharpen these trees up a little bit. So I'm going to pick another brush. Now we can pick local brushes in Lumina as well. Like I say, just because I'm not really used to using that program too much, but I could have done it. So we picked a brush. I'm going to up the texture, and then I'm just going to paint over these trees, because I want these trees to be almost quite sharp in them layers there. So I'm just going to, and a bit more punchy, especially that top row there, look. So I'm just going to paint that in there. Can I push it too much? So I'm going to go about 35 on that. And I've got to be honest with you, I think that's probably the image done. It could potentially make a black and white. First of all, I'm going to save that. What I'm thinking about is the black and white. Now, if I was going to put this in black and white, and I won't do, I think it needs a bit of colour in it. But what I would do is actually up that contrast, I think, so we start to get more definition in them layers, really. You know, like that, how it goes from light to dark. You could even really up the DAs then to get them, pull them layers in. But something around that. But yeah, I mean the contrast does do it quite nice. Yeah, hope you enjoyed that one. Somewhat a little bit different using Lumina. Obviously, it's got its fors and against. Being a Lightroom user for 10 years or so, but it's very hard to actually go to another product. But I will keep trying it, and I will keep having a go because it does work. But yeah, I'm so used to the Lightroom settings, and with this new update of Lightroom this last 6 to 12 months with these new masks that they put in there, it's just fabulous. But again, Lumina does replicate all them masks, just maybe in a slightly different way. Yeah, okay, so I've enjoyed this one. Thanks for watching. And like I say, if you want your image to be featured, easiest way to do it is join the Facebook group. I'll put it in here. Thumbs Up Photography on Facebook, and message me from there. Or if not, just try and contact me through YouTube. Okay, again, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll catch up with you soon. Cheers, guys.